The following content has been generated with artificial intelligence under minimal human supervision. The data presented may contain errors or inaccuracies. The opinions expressed in this content do not necessarily reflect the vision, position, or values of DigiAll. We recommend verifying critical information with additional sources before making decisions based on this content.
Welcome to DigiAll Tech News. Today is Friday, May 29th, 2026. I'm Kylie Brooks, and this is where technology becomes clear and engaging. Kirkland and Ellis is putting $500 million toward its own legal AI platform, turning the build versus buy question into a major law firm bet. Samsung says it has begun shipping industry-first 12-layer H.B.M 4E memory samples as it tries to gain ground in the AI chip supply chain. Dell sharply raised its AI server forecast after a huge quarter, showing how fast data center spending is flowing into hardware. Asana is buying StackAI for $75 million, pushing deeper into no-code AI agents for workplace automation. Airbus is partnering with Mistral A.I to bring sovereign European AI into aerospace, defense, and space systems. Let's start with Kirkland and Ellis, because this is a very concrete signal that AI in legal work is moving past pilots and vendor demos. The firm plans to spend $500 million over the next 3 to 4 years, beginning with $100 million in 2026, to build a custom platform shaped by input from 250 Kirkland lawyers and more than 180 technology professionals. Kirkland will still license some third-party tools, but the point here is control. Law firms handle sensitive client data, specialized workflows, and work where a false citation can have real consequences. That matters because lawyers have already been sanctioned in dozens of cases over fabricated AI citations, and Sullivan and Cromwell recently apologized to a federal judge for AI-generated filing errors. So the question is not just whether Kirkland can build something powerful, it is whether a custom system can measurably improve accuracy, security, and accountability enough to justify a $500 million commitment. Now to Samsung, where the story is memory, not the flashy processor everyone usually talks about. Samsung has started shipping samples of its 12-layer H.B.M 4E chip to global customers with speeds up to 16 gigabits per second, 48 gigabytes of capacity, and claimed gains in energy efficiency and thermal performance. The company also plans 8-layer 32 gigabyte and 16-layer 64 gigabyte versions depending on customer needs. In practical terms, high-bandwidth memory is what helps AI accelerators move massive amounts of data quickly, including chips such as NVIDIA's Rubin and Google's Ironwood TPU. Samsung shares rose on the news, and the bigger competitive angle is clear. Samsung is trying to close the gap with SK Hynix in one of the most important hardware markets behind AI infrastructure. The real test will be whether these samples turn into qualified, high-volume orders, because in advanced memory, performance claims are only part of the race. Dell's numbers show just how much the AI data center build-out is changing the shape of old-line enterprise tech. The company now expects about $60 billion in fiscal 2027 AI server revenue, up from a prior target of $50 billion. It also lifted annual revenue guidance to $165 to $169 billion and adjusted EPS guidance to $17.90. The latest quarter was striking. Revenue reached $43.84 billion, up 88% from a year earlier. And the Infrastructure Solutions Group, which includes servers, storage, and software, jumped 181%. Here's what is interesting. Dell is benefiting not just from demand for NVIDIA-powered AI servers, but also from its scale and supplier relationships during a tight memory chip environment. Chief Operating Officer Jeff Clark said repricing is happening constantly because of inflationary pressure. That is great if Dell can protect supply and margins. It is also a reminder that the AI boom is being built through very physical constraints, from chips to pricing to delivery. Asana's StackAI acquisition is small compared with the infrastructure stories, but strategically it says a lot about where workplace software is heading. Asana is paying $75 million for StackAI, a Y Combinator Winter 23 startup whose no-code agent builder can pull data from and act inside systems like Salesforce, Slack, and Google Workspace. Founders Tony Rosenthal and Bernard Aketuno are joining Asana, and the plan is to fold StackAI into Asana's AI Studio and AI Teammates products. CEO Dan Rogers is framing the goal as an operating system for human agent teams. That is a big phrase, but the practical idea is simple. Companies want agents that understand actual workflows, not just chat windows. The pressure is real too. Asana has lost more than half its market value since ChatGPT launched, and after founder Dustin Moskovitz stepped down as CEO in March 2025, even as revenue has continued to grow. The execution question is whether Asana's workflow context gives it an edge over general-purpose automation tools, or whether this becomes another AI feature that sounds compelling before adoption proves it. Finally, Airbus and Mistral A.I are tying AI directly to the sovereignty debate. Airbus has signed a partnership with the European AI company to use Mistral's product suite across commercial aircraft, helicopters, defense, and space, with options for on-premises, trusted cloud, or more flexible deployments. The collaboration is aimed at strict security and sovereignty requirements, including critical, confidential, and military uses. Some of the early areas are very grounded, automating technical documents, helping engineering and design teams with simulations, supporting development, testing, and certification, and using secure on-premise setups for cyber investigation and coding assistance. The more ambitious side is Edge AI on spacecraft and aircraft, including automatic object recognition to improve situational awareness and safety. The bigger issue is that Aerospace does not adopt software like a consumer app. Ground-based industrial tools can move faster. Anything touching onboard safety has to clear a much higher bar. So this partnership matters not because it makes AI sound inevitable in aviation, but because it shows how Europe is trying to build trusted AI capacity where security, certification, and sovereignty all collide. Today's thread is the same across very different markets. AI is moving from experiments into infrastructure, professional workflows, and highly regulated systems. The winners will not be decided by ambition alone, but by execution, reliability, security, and whether these tools can prove their value in the places where mistakes are expensive. Thank you for staying informed with Digital Tech News. We'll be back with more updates as they develop.